Hi, this is section 17 of the novel 910 by Nora Raleigh Baskin. As we are moving through the morning of September 11th, we've changed locations and we are now in Pacific time in California. So 5:30 a.m. Pacific time is about 8:30 a.m. New York City time. So that's something worth keeping in mind in regards to your timeline of actual events from September 11th. On the other end, 3,000 miles away in New York City, a phone was ringing and ringing, but no one was answering. Come on, pick up, Mom, pick up. Aimee had set her alarm so she could reach her mom before her mom called her, before her mom left for her meeting. She wanted to tell her everything, tell her about her first day, about how she met one nice girl and one mean one, about gym class. You wouldn't believe what the gym teacher's name is. And about math and lunch period. She would have to bring a snack from now on. She would inform her mom. She wanted to say she was sorry. So if we think back to the last time we saw Aimee had hung up on her mother because she was frustrated and angry at her mother and believed for whatever reason that her mother didn't really care about what was going on in her life because her mom was so preoccupied with work. And so what we're seeing in this italicized print are these thoughts that Aimee's having about what she would like to say to her mom if she gets a hold of her. She was sorry for being rude on the phone and pretending she couldn't hear her mom. She was sorry she had a horrible, horrible, horrible day. But she shouldn't have taken it out on her mother. She wanted to tell her mom how much she missed her and couldn't wait for her to get back. Though she might not want to share how she had thought her mom and dad were getting divorced, even if all that had been cleared up last night at the restaurant. It was a weekday, Monday, but Aimee's dad had wanted to take her out to a nice dinner. Aimee glanced across the menu to the prices as she was picking what she thought she might want to eat. It was expensive. She ran her fingers over the real tablecloth and noticed the napkins were cloth too. Why did we come to such a fancy place? Aimee asked her dad from across the table. What, this place? Her dad joked. Well, for my special little girl, why not? And suddenly, Aimee felt sick. So here, and it's not marked off by stars or anything, but we have a flashback to the night before. And it looks like Aimee was taken to a fancy restaurant by Dad because maybe Dad realized the first day of school would be challenging. Maybe Dad didn't feel like cooking. Maybe Dad wanted to try the fancy restaurant. But for Aimee, who walked around all day thinking her parents were getting divorced, when she first got there to the restaurant, she felt sick because she thought, oh, he's going to break it to me tonight. He's going to let me know that they're breaking up. And so again, we see that this little seed of doubt that Vanessa planted in Aimee's mind has totally grown into something and is upsetting Aimee and really kind of ruining her entire day. Was this going to be the big announcement? Were her parents getting a divorce? Was that why they were here at this expensive restaurant? That's how it happens in the movies. The dad and his daughter, the china plates, the shiny glasses of water, maybe even a Shirley Temple with a 2 red cherry. And then he breaks the bad news. But what about Mom? Isn't Mom your special girl? Aimee blanched. Her insides wrenched into a knot. So, can your insides literally get tied up into a knot? No, they cannot. So, this is a metaphor. She's comparing the nervousness in her stomach to the feeling of her insides being tied in a knot. Aimee's father looked at her. He tipped his head and sort of crinkled his brow. What's this all about, honey? What's wrong? Aimee felt tears burning behind her eyes and that sharp, knife-like twinge in her throat that always signaled a flood of tears. But she held them back. There was so much. There was too much. At the same time, she didn't want to go back to school tomorrow without knowing. She needed to know the truth about her parents once and for all. Are you and Mom splitting up? Aimee heard herself asking. Her father dropped his menu. It clattered on his plate. He looked hard at Aimee. No, Aimee, not at all. Why would you even ask that? So Aimee told her dad about her first day of school. Vanessa, Bridget, Tom Cruise, and Ryan Phillippe. She had never heard her father laugh so hard in public. So remember that Vanessa used the example of an actor named Ryan Phillippe and his wife Reese Witherspoon. The two of them were actors at the time who got divorced. In part, people believed because Reese Witherspoon was far more successful than her husband. And so Vanessa made that comparison to justify to Aimee why she felt Aimee's parents were getting divorced. But the fact that her father is laughing really shows us that Aimee's imagination has gotten the better of her and that Vanessa really was just being mean. And Aimee's dad really has no intention of changing their family structure. I'm so sorry, Aimee. Her dad composed himself. I don't mean to make light of it, but no. Your mom and I are not getting divorced. We love each other very much. And we love you. Boy, did that sound suspicious. Her dad must have read her face. Seriously, Aimee, stop it, he told her. You're just going to have to believe me. Your mother and I have never even talked about it. Never. Not once. Aimee took a big drink of water. Then who's Chris? She asked. Chris? Her dad said. From your mom's office? Chris Weissman? She's your mom's new boss. Why? She? She. So you'll remember in the last section when Aimee heard her mom refer to Chris, she thought, oh, that's got to be mom's boyfriend because, Vanessa said there's somebody else. And it turns out that Chris is actually her mom's new boss, so it would make sense that Chris and her mom would be in New York City attending the same meeting together. When her appetite returned, Aimee was able to eat everything she had ordered. Salad, steak, French fries, and dessert. She ate like she hadn't eaten in days, when in fact she hadn't eaten in one whole day. Food never tastes as good as when you're really hungry. So these 3 dots mark the end of our flashback, and we're back into Aimee at 5:30 in the morning trying to get a hold of her mother. It was pitch black at 5:30 in the morning in Los Angeles, but the sun would be up in Manhattan. Her mother would be getting ready for her big meeting at the whatever it was building. She would be all dressed in her gray suit and black heels, which Aimee had put her stamp of approval on. Maybe putting on another coat of mascara. She might even be making her bed in the hotel. Aimee smiled. Her mom was like that. Aimee held the phone in her hand, sitting up in bed and listened to the ringing. Come on, Mom, come on. Pick up already. Please, please, please. I miss you so much, Mom. Just pick up. So again, we're ending with words that Aimee wishes that she could say to her mom as she's trying to get a hold of her. And again, we are really at this point just mere minutes from the September 11th attacks as they are outlined on our timeline. So we'll leave it here for section 17. Please make sure you go back into your character chart and update the information for Aimee for this section. And I will see you back here for section 18.